born. Show them how we do this, man. Btbtv. We bully the bullies. No run, no retreat. Yeah. Btbtv. One more time for y'all in the back. Y'all slow ninjas. Rah. Yo, John Gotti flow, rap Pablo, Escobar status, rap game Corleone. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa Smoke. Y'all wake up every day twitching like yo, I gotta post. I wake up every day mission. It's $1 million notes, dominoes, bodies drop, rot stink like holocaust. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have. Got that and then some, and then some. My ones on overload, say y'all overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope. The okie-doke, we don't go for that. All she wrote, another tale from the street. Death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street. Homicide the folks who want to play till them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street. Black Mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street like an opera show. These kids be acting to their life movie curtain closed. Nowadays your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats.
Salute.
On his shoulder won the death match.
Biggie top in the morning. I see you, bro.
Was off the hook, chasing D's above the block. Torn and running, get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old and he tough to play with. He don't go to playgrounds. That's his fiends who want their vein stick. We can't miss. We can hit the target with our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half brainless. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folk who want to play till them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, Black Mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street like an opera show. These kids be acting till they like movie curtain close. Yeah.
Btbtv. The movement, man. It's the movement over here. I'm hearing you, bro. I'm hearing you. Let's go.
Let's get them. Kaz, we up in here, man. Hood famous.
Yo, peace to the 5% nation, the guys and nerves. Salam alaikum, alhamdulillah, Rahman to Allah, and all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. And to my true Btbtv family, we in the blood or a crip, we doing our own thing. Btbtv that started his own gang, like nigga, what? Yo, man, let's get on this Corey Holcomb, TS Madison, and Pierre the comic story. Now, Corey Holcomb has been throwing dots at Pierre for saying he was flirting with TS Madison on his program. Corey been zipping the transgender comedian Flames dresses for him when he performed. So let's find out how all this started. Let's get there. Yeah, I'm being petty today. Fair use, fair use.
Let's just go and get it out the way. A group of my fellow comedians work for a homosexual. And the homosexual won't come out in front because if he come out in front, his homosexual hype platform will be looked at as a homosexual thing. So what he does, he put comedians that I've known for years on the spot and asking them questions about me. And I want to say I'm saying their name because I know these guys. Capone, Pierre, and Vanessa, don't fall for it. Stop. No, I ain't got nothing. Me and Capone, we had an argument on the phone, 12 years ago about some money. I root for you. Pierre, come on, man. I be, Pierre, you be on your show.
They say he said you weren't funny in the comments.
That's okay, but I'm saying but that don't bother me because a lot of people think I'm funny. Yeah, Pierre, low key, dog. you be flirting with on your show. Like, come on, you a light skin too? You be flirting
with him on that show?
Man, I'm talking about when he be talking to see, he get hypnotized in the eyes.
Oh my Lord.
Come on the show and talk to me about it, PL. I ain't got nothing to get. That's gonna make me not like you. All who can't come out the bag. You know what I'm saying? If y'all like boys, you like boys. I'm gonna joke with you about it, but I'm not gonna hate you about it. I ain't that kind of nigga. Like I look at Craig and Marcus. I don't see no homosexuality in them. Anybody who I ever had on the show got fruit booty tendency?
No.
I'm talking about like the guys. And I think the reason I had Flame on the show.
On the show, yeah. You don't get no fruit booty. No,
right.
That's the fruity.
Because when Flame was on the show, nigga Craig walked in late. He was like, they weren't ready for Flame.
I don't think Pierre's gay, of course. Come on, man.
I don't know, man. Do you see nigga be flirting with niggas on the show?
He flexible. He'll go either way.
We got a joke about it. Hey, man, I've been doing this 20 plus years, man. Yeah. I'm saying, and the girl, Vanessa, girl, if you don't stop, don't let them homosexual hype turn you against me. It's me. I'm one who got you back out here in the streets. Not like I'm around you all the time. Hey, you know, girl, you know me. I ain't gonna let nobody with you. I'm gonna do what I can to smash the bull that happens. Like if I see a female, especially a female comic, if she have a problem with another male comic, I do things to try to fix that.
Right.
Because it can go real left real fast. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
As we found out in several times.
So I found that out a lot of times in life. When you got problems with a motherfucker, if you can be the diplomat, be the diplomat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause everybody can't be the diplomat. Well, I was able to mend it one time in LA with my sister Vanessa, and I was glad I was able to mend it because it really just needed nigga in the middle, like, hey. Then it came together, and I believe whatever went wrong got kind of fixed that night. And I felt good about it because these female comics be traveling by themselves places.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you got to be a family and kind of look out. You know,
but that's a fact. Yeah, that's the homegirl from Chicago. I remember when she started. Yeah. Don't let the comedy homosexual turn you against me, sister. You know me. And Capone, I don't want it with Capone, man. We OGs now. We ain't you said this. Right. Whatever I said, I talk about it with any nigga. But let's bring the to the front. I'm talking who smoke cigarettes from Europe. You know what I'm saying? Smoke cigarettes from Europe. Now I do want to address this part about what Capone said. Capone said, what difference does it make if he's gay? Okay, let me tell y'all something. Nigga Dre, pimp, told me this. Gorgeous Dre. Really, he said his father taught him. When you in a room and you don't know who the mark is, please trust me. You the mark. This is a profound statement. If you in a room and you ain't peeped out the mark, you the mark. Right. Capone, you say, what difference does it make? Let me tell you something. This is what's the unspoken rule because everybody's scared of getting shut down by Hollywood. You don't treat men who you know fuck men the same way you treat men who don't. That's the difference in the room. And it's really scared to say, well, I'm Corey Holcomb, I'm blackballed anyway.
I'm listening.
This is my Hollywood right here. If you talking to
we got the same shadow today, bro.
Who do the God's work?
I got my plug shirt on today. Got the plug on today, baby.
You'll smack
the same color on though.
I see you know what I'm saying.
What is everybody scared to say? I'm gonna put my spot. Who in the room?
Eventually, that nigga probably
Marcus. If you talking to who you gonna treat him differently than a man who you know women only.
Yeah. Yeah. That nigga might try to shoot at me one day.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Nigga might make a pass at you.
Yeah.
But they always do when they relax. Because if you want to, if you a man.
Hold up. Let me find. Because this guy, he cutting everything up. I don't like that shit, yo.
Yeah, I saw. Have you pulled up the one where you sent me with the Perry thing with whatever that was on there?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna pull that up right now. I'm just trying to
Yeah. Y'all hit that like button coming in the chat, man. Hit that like, subscribe.
Hold on, let's see where's that shit at. What's this shit, yo? Where's that? Hold up, check this out. Got one right here though. Yo, man, this shit is funny, boy.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Corey's a Is this the one? Yeah, hold up, this is the one. And then I'm gonna show you what P had.
The other one in the car with him was in the store.
Chase Money salute.
I had on one of my jackets. They said he looked nice. You know what I said? Thank you. What should I do? I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose.
Just take the compliment.
For your gay therapy. Thank you. I'm gonna lose, man. Okay, here goes some bullshit. And I know this gonna start some shit, but I can't help it. It's too funny to me. So, comedian, my guy, comedian Pierre, sent me a text message that blew me off. I mean, it threw me off. I don't know what he means when he says this. Like, I'm looking at the last few text messages between me and Pierre. Once I say, "What's up, dude? How can I help you, my light-skinned brother?" But this was May 19, 2020.
Oh, damn.
Too long to text. That was his reply to that. So then, here's another one. June 18th, 2020. Corey, it's Pierre. I got to ask you a question. And I think I remember what he was asking me. He was asking me about podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
he had just started.
He was getting ready to start it.
Okay.
Or he maybe had just started it, but he asked me questions. Of course, I'm going to give him the game.
Yeah.
But I look like holding the game. That's the sucker shit. But here it is. This shit say today. Corey, I accept your show invite, but since I already did yours, when you come to Atlanta next month, do mine, and I'll come do yours next time I'm in LA. Let's do what G's do. So did I ask him? I accept your show invite. Did I ask him to come on?
Did you talk to him?
All I know is this shit happened with the
maybe you said it on the show. You're like, come on. Maybe you said it. Maybe extended it off when you talking about it.
But what I'm saying, brother Pierre, and I know this shit gonna get back to
what you got playing in the background, boy?
Make sure you get this. That's why I can say that.
I got something playing. That's me.
Huh?
That's me.
What I said is this.
Oh
if
shit! Hold on.
Come on your show. Just say, Corey, I got a show. Come on, let's do it.
Peace,
Don't
guys.
say,
Salute,
I
baby.
your show, so now you do
You
my
know
show.
we
Then
here.
I come back on your show because that seems really. It seems weird. Like I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about?
We said 2 shows ago.
I did. Okay, so I'll come on your show, and then you come back on my show, okay?
Round and round we go.
But I'm saying, like, it might just be me. Somebody tell me if it's me. This is why I be by myself. I be thinking I'm gonna say something to make somebody mad. I always make people mad. Like what I say, by me putting this text out there, was that some whole shit? You can tell me if it is.
Check this out, child. I want y'all to hear this right here. Fuck all. This is what the comedian that Corey Holcomb was talking about. Oh, where is it at? Where? TS Madison. Hold up. Wait. This fair use.
Man, go on with that. I'm an artist. I'm always going to fight for the artist. Now, just because the art ain't right, there's people who don't like you. Yeah. I will fight for you to express yourself. That's right. I went against Corey Holcomb and shit against for you and shit. I'm like, man, I'm going to fight.
Hold on, what happened with Corey Holcomb?
Tell
me.
I mean,
I'm here now. So what's up?
He was trying to tease me. I'm homosexual, whatever. Because I had you on the show.
He said that you were homosexual
because I had you on the show. And I said, hold on, you have Flame and Roll on your show, player. Let's not do this now.
Well, see, the difference is because he possibly found me more attractive than Flame, and I'm not saying that Flame was. Flame is a beautiful trans woman, but he probably saw her in this space. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And so therefore, he probably felt in a space like, oh, well, that's my homeboy, because
with Flame.
Okay. Flame is not a homeboy. I look at Flame as a woman. Sure. Okay. I've always looked at Flame as a woman, but Flame.
Bro, what you watching?
I identify as completely motherfucking all day.
What you watching?
Watching nothing.
That's Flame's identity. That's Flame's thing, and that's what Flame gives that. And Flame is okay. Like Flame say, shit.
I ain't what
she make the money. You know her slogan. Sure. And so I'm not. And so maybe in that space. He probably sees Flame as
that ain't me. Right.
But you?
I'm a big baby.
So you think he sees you as a female?
He coulda. I don't care how much do I look like a man to you?
I mean, no.
I don't look like a man to a lot of folks, and they can lie. They can tell that lie all day because I walk broad daylight. I walk through. I bust this through. So even if a nooker jumped up and said jumped out the window and said that wouldn't hurt me because I know you lying to yourself. Because hands and feet don't make a woman.
I don't know what the hell this 6 feet tall. Let me come out of it. Let me come out.
Got 3-4 kids. So none of that stuff don't mean anything to me.
So you think you was saying that about me, about you on my guest because jealous? Because he might want to be sitting here.
Yes.
Talking to you.
Jealous. You never know. You never know who watched me be lick dicks back in the day.
Ooh, you might want a dick lick.
You don't never know who. You never know who watched me lick dicks back in the day on BigDickBitch.com. Oh, I'm a legend.
So he could be online.
I'm a legend. I'm an icon. You never know who dick I made ski cross the street before I became a fucking goddamn superstar. You never know. I don't pay.
I don't think Corey's like that.
I don't pay niggas like that no attention. You never know. It's okay. You see how you compliment me. You see how you can tell me, you're beautiful. You look nice. Because you know it is what it is.
Right.
You comfortable and you cozy, right? You comfortable in your skin, right?
Yeah. From here, shit. It's like, but damn, that nigga, okay.
Why he tell that nigga to come here and talk to me?
I asked him to come on my show. He said he'll come on my show, but he didn't want to come on my show.
Why he want to come? He could come. Ooh. Let me co-host with you when he do. Ooh. I don't like men that attack my friends.
It's all good.
No, but I don't like men that attack my friends for being my friends. You and I don't have no sexual content.
Salute.
I may joke with you
sure.
and stuff, but I haven't sent you an invoice, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Oh, I know that's right.
Let me let you niggas know something today. Let me look at this camera and let you niggas know something. If I haven't sent you an invoice, bitch, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Damn. Did you send one to Corey?
Oh,
okay.
He ain't got nothing to worry about.
Okay, well, I thought that's why he might be jealous, He
ain't got nothing to worry about.
He wanted part 2.
Johnny,
I don't know what they saw when they spent their $19.99.
Oh, on your
I couldn't tell you what they saw. They probably saw me.
I don't think Corey's not like that.
They probably saw me get my dick licked. Who knows?
He don't watch that kind of stuff. You
never know.
Girl. Come
on.
I'm
a legend. I birthed bitches.
Ooh. But he was upset that I,
why he mad about what you do?
I don't know. He know I'm a player. We a player.
And then he say, and then Flame his friend. That's what I don't get.
I don't know.
Still on
Flame on the show, but I can't have you on the show.
Right.
The fuck's that?
That means he look at Flame different than he look at me.
Watch out now.
Yo.
Watch out now.
And Flame, my bitch.
I don't know what the hell.
So Flame is his homeboy. You his home toy. Ooh.
Or he was at home playing with a toy.
Yikes. All right, let me get up myself.
Now, you asked me when Shade was gonna come. Here it goes.
Here it comes. All right. Well, Corey, you always welcome to come.
Yeah, hey Corey. What's up, boo? Come holler at a real nigga. Oh my God. Ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
Oh, damn.
Not me.
Okay. All right. Well.
Always listen. All my life I've had problems with fat niggas.
Oh,
damn.
Because them little dicks, it be them little dick syndromes they be having. They be done saw my dick somewhere bigger than theirs, and they can't take it.
Woo.
Always a fat nigga, honey.
Oh,
and
shit.
see, a bitch can call me fat, but see, niggas like fat bitches. They like BBW. You didn't hear Drake say he like BBWs.
Okay.
So calling me fat don't mean nothing. When a fat nigga be talking, I'm like, nigga, you gotta pay for pussy. You must. I get paid for the pussy that I don't even have, bitch.
And Corey,
hell no.
You know Corey gonna hear this, right?
I don't give a fuck.
Yo,
don't give a fuck.
Tell that nigga to try a cheeseburger. Don't try me.
Rewind. Hold on.
Well, let's go to another subject.
Anyway, let's go.
Damn.
Rewind. Hold on.
Got nothing. Let me co-host with
you. Yo, for y'all that missed it. Here is TS Madison going on Corey Holcomb.
I'm here now. So what's up?
He was trying to tease me. Oh, talking about, I'm homosexual, whatever. Because I had you on the show.
He said that you were homosexual
because I had you on the show. And I said, hold on, you have Flame and Roll on your show playing. Let's not do this now.
Well, see, the difference is because he possibly found attractive than Flame, and I'm not saying that Flame was because Flame is a beautiful trans woman, but he probably saw her in this space. You see what I'm saying?
It's
and so therefore he probably felt in a space like my homeboy, because
with Flame.
Flame is not a homeboy. I look at Flame as a woman.
Sure.
I've always looked at Flame as a woman, but Flame identifies as he, she, we. I identify completely motherfucking she all day. I ain't no he, she, we with me. That's Flame's identity. That's Flame's thing. And that's what Flame gives that. And Flame is okay. Like Flame say shit, he pay the bills, she make the money. You know her slogan.
Sure.
And so I'm not, and so maybe in that space, he probably sees Flame as a homeboy.
Right. But you?
I'm a big baby.
So you think he sees you as a female?
He coulda. I don't care how much do I look like a man to you?
I mean, no.
I don't look like a man to a lot of folks, and they can lie, they can tell that lie all day because I walk broad daylight. I walk through. I bust this through.
Right.
So even if a nooker jumped up and said that to me, jumped out the window and said that wouldn't hurt me because I know you lying to yourself. Because hands and feet don't make a woman. My aunt was 6 feet tall with big hands, big feet, and big pussy. Got 3-4 kids. So none of that stuff don't mean anything to me.
So you think he was saying that about me, about you on my guest because jealous? Because he might want to be sitting here, talking to you.
Jealous. You never know. You never know who watched me lick dicks back in the day.
You might want his dick lick.
You don't never know you never know who watched me lick dicks back in the day on BigDickBitch.com. Oh, I'm a legend.
So he could be on live.
I'm a legend. I'm an icon. You never know who dick I made ski cross the street before I became a superstar. You never know. I don't pay.
I don't think Corey's like that.
I don't pay niggas like that no attention. You never know. It's okay. You see how you compliment me. You see how you can tell me, Master, you're beautiful. You look nice. Because you know it is what it is. You comfortable and you cozy, right?
Comfortable.
You comfortable in your skin, right?
Comfortable, cozy,
yeah. From here, shit. But damn, okay.
Why he tell that nigga to come here and talk to me?
I asked him to come on my show. He said he'll come on my show, but he didn't want to come on my show.
Why he didn't want to come? He could come. Let me co-host with you when he do. I don't like men that attack my friends.
It's all good.
No, but I don't like men that attack my friends for being my friends. You and I don't have no sexual contact. I may joke with you and stuff, but I haven't sent you an invoice, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Oh, I know that's right.
Let me let you niggas know something today. Let me look at this camera and let you niggas know something. If I haven't sent you an invoice, bitch, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Damn. Did you send one to Corey? Okay.
He ain't got nothing to worry about.
Okay, well, I thought that's why he might be jealous. He ain't got
nothing to worry about.
He wanted part 2.
I don't know what they saw when they spent their $19.99.
Oh, on your
I couldn't tell you what they saw. They probably saw me lick.
Now Corey's not like that.
He don't watch that kind of stuff. Who knows?
He don't watch that kind of stuff. You
never know,
girl. Come on.
I'm a legend. I birthed bitches.
Ooh. Well, but he was upset that You know,
why he mad about what you do?
I don't know. He know I'm a player. We a player.
And then he say, and then Flame his friend. That's what I don't get.
I don't know. He had Flame on the show, but I can't have you on the show.
Right.
The fuck's that?
That means he look at Flame different than he look at me.
Oh, watch out now. Watch out now.
And
so,
Flame my bitch.
Oh, so Flame is his homeboy. You his home toy.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
Was at home playing with a toy.
Yikes. All right, let me get off myself.
Well, Corey, do you ask me when Shade was gonna come? Here it go.
Here it comes. All right. Well, Corey, you always welcome to come.
Yeah, hey Corey. What's up, boo? Come holler at a real nigga.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
Oh, damn.
Not me.
Okay. All right. Well.
Always listen. All my life I've had problems with fat niggas.
Damn.
Because them little dicks, it be them little dick syndromes they be having. They been saw my dick somewhere bigger than theirs, and they can't take it.
Woo.
Always a fat nigga, honey. And see, a bitch can call me fat, but see, niggas like fat bitches. They like BBW. You didn't hear Drake say he like BBWs.
Okay.
So calling me fat don't mean nothing. When a fat nigga be talking, I'm like, nigga, you gotta pay for pussy.
Ooh.
You must. I get paid for the pussy that I don't even have, bitch.
You know Corey gonna hear this, right?
I don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck?
Tell that nigga to try a cheeseburger. Don't try me.
Oh. Well, let's go to another subject.
Anyway, let's go.
Damn. Oh, okay.
What's his net worth?
Well, he's on a show called 5150, and he got his fans, you know, and he kind of
what's
rowdy.
his net worth?
Oh, I don't know that. I don't get in his shit like that. I don't get like that.
About no nigga like that.
Oh, all right now.
Niggas be talking. I wouldn't even let you pay me to lick in between my toes.
Okay.
And I wear a size 12. What size you wear, nigga?
Yikes!
How you gonna be a tall fat nigga with big feet and a small dick?
Ooh.
This how I know your dick bigger than his, cause you embrace me. Them little dick niggas got a problem because they been seen my shit swing.
So he been online, like I said. You
Who
really
knows?
think
Most fat niggas have.
Corey, you get online sometime, bro?
Turn me up a little bit. Turn me up a little bit.
Yo.
That's crazy.
Bruh. Now, do y'all want to hear how all that started?
Yeah, I do.
Corey Holcomb was on the 5150 show. And when last time Pierre interviewed the he thing, right? Corey Holcomb was like, Pierre was flirt with it.
That's crazy.
And so he was calling Pierre gay. And Pierre was doing a little bit of flirting just now, too. Pierre, bruh, bruh. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in the way, here's the thing, man. Motherfuckers, see, that's why I say you don't get caught up in fucking around with them type of people, because them type of people have no problem telling on your ass. And then in the way the motherfucker kept talking was like they was insinuating he was around at one point in time. That's why now it makes sense with all the dick in the booty and these niggas is faggots, and I know you niggas, and I done seen you niggas when he talk about Rick Ross. He done been somewhere in a room where he done seen a nigga do some shit.
Yeah, Corey, he always try to call somebody gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he doing, man.
It almost remind me of Bullets Got It. How a motherfucker so strong-armed about the gay shit, but come to find out, shit, he part of the community too. He just the download though.
Yo, Corey Holcomb always got something to say about somebody, yo. And he really killing Pierre. I don't know if it's jealousy with Pierre or what.
Well, I think that's what it is, for the fact that, again, when people
Here we go right here. Hold up. Why would you put Gary Owens in there? I ain't got nothing to do. That's doing PS shit. What is this shit?
Right? But you see how that white dude, how he dodged that shit? He fucked around and Him with that black woman. Anybody else, they would have ran with that shit and exploited that shit. Him cheating on a black woman. Him, oh my God, I can't believe he did a black. They ain't say shit about that shit. See how that shit just went away? It just went away. Any other nigga, they would just like the basketball player. They just, it's Neil Long. Oh my God, Neil Long. Motherfuckers don't know what people going on in their life. They don't exploit the white boys like that. They didn't do him like that when he had the bad break divorce with his wife, the black woman. They ain't even interviewed her. They ain't even asked her why. Ain't nobody asked why. Ain't nobody asked him why. He just said, "Hey, we just moved on," and that was it. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me find this. I'm trying to find this. All right, y'all. What's this shit with Corey Holcomb? Yeah, I want y'all to see this shit. What's this? Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, take your time. Y'all hit that like button coming into the chat. Subscribe to the channel.
Fair use, fair use.
Hey, so look, fuck it. Let's just go and get it out the way. A group of my fellow comedians work for a homosexual. And the homosexual won't come out in front because if he come out in front, his homosexual hype platform
Well, Mac 24/7 salute.
So what he does,
Big E salute, yeah. The Mac Mizzle Show salute.
For years, on the spot, and asking them questions about me. And I want to say I'm saying their name because I know these guys. Capone, Pierre, and Vanessa, don't fall for it. Stop. Y'all niggas know I ain't got nothing. Me and Capone, we had an argument on the phone, 12 years ago about some money. Nigga, you know nigga, I root for you, nigga. I root for you. Pierre, come on, man. Look, nigga, Pierre, you be flirting with niggas on your show.
They say he said you weren't funny in the comments.
That's okay, but I'm saying like with that shit don't bother me because a lot of people think I'm funny. Pierre, low key, dog. You be flirting with niggas on your show. Like, come on, my nigga. Come on, nigga. You a light-skinned nigga too? You be flirting with him on that show? Man, I'm talking about when he be talking to niggas, I see he get hypnotized in the eyes.
Oh my Lord.
Come on the show and talk to me about it, Pierre. I ain't got nothing against you, nigga. If you fuck niggas, you fuck niggas. That shit ain't gonna make me.
Kazia, Parks, true.
Come out the bag. You know what I'm saying? If y'all motherfuckers like boys, you like boys. I'm gonna joke with you about it, but I'm not gonna hate you about it. I ain't that kind of nigga. Like I look at Craig and Marcus, I don't see no homosexuality in them. Anybody who I ever had on the show got fruit booty tendency?
No.
I'm talking about like the guys. And I think the reason I had Flame on the show.
On the show? Yeah. Don't get no fruit or booty.
Right. Because when Flame was on the show, that nigga Craig walked in late. He was like, they weren't ready for Flame.
Now this is why Pierre going there, Corey.
Come on, man.
Oh man, do you see how this nigga be flirting with niggas on the show?
Be flexible.
We got a joke about it. Hey man, I've been knowing these niggas 20 plus years, man. I'm saying, and the girl, Vanessa, girl, if you don't stop, Don't let them homosexual hype motherfuckers turn you against me. It's me. I'm one of the niggas who got your back out here in the streets. Not like I'm around you all the time, but shit, you know it, girl. You know me. I ain't gonna let nobody fuck with you. I'm gonna do what I can to smash the bullshit that happens. Like,
you gotta check this out, bro. I'm about to show it.
Especially a female comic, if she have a problem with another male comic, I do things to try to motherfucking fix that. Right. Because it can go real left real fast. You know what I'm saying?
As we found out in several times.
So I found that out a lot of times in life. When you got problems with a motherfucker, if you can be the diplomat, be the diplomat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause everybody can't be the diplomat. Motherfucker, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what you talk about. I was able to mend shit one time in LA with my sister, Vanessa, and I was glad I was able to mend it because it really just needed a nigga in the middle like, hey. Then it came together, and I believe whatever went wrong got fixed that night. And I felt good about it because, shit, these female comics be traveling by themselves places.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you got to be family and kind of look out. You know,
but that's a fact. Yeah, that's the homegirl from Chicago. I remember when she started. Don't let the comedy homosexual turn you against me, sister. You know me. And Capone, I don't want it with Capone, man. We OGs now. We ain't young niggas who, nigga, fuck you. You said this. Right. Whatever I said, I'll talk about it with any of them niggas. But let's bring the fag to the front. I'm talking about the nigga who smoked cigarettes from Europe.
Job, you know peace to the God. Here you go, Job. Salute.
The nigga who smoked cigarettes from Europe. Now, I do want to address what Capone said. Capone said, what difference does it make if he's gay? Okay, let me tell you something.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Told me this shit. Really, he said his father taught him this shit. When you in a room and you don't know who the mark is, please trust me. You the mark. This is a profound statement. If you in a room and you ain't peeped out the mark, you the mark. Capone.
Yo, John, that was you in the comments, right?
You don't.
Indeed, God.
All right, I'll give you a wrench.
Let me tell you something. This is what's the unspoken rule because everybody's scared of getting shut down by Hollywood. You don't treat men who you know fuck men the same way you treat men who don't fuck men. There's a difference in the room. And it's really some shit niggas be scared to say, but I'm
you talking about Pierre, Tommy Pierre.
Anyway.
True.
I don't never be on shit. This is my Hollywood right here, nigga. If you're talking to a nigga who do the God's work in bitches, you have way different respect for a man who like to sniff niggas.
Thank you, Queen. Plus, thank you. Peace.
This is a fact. Nobody, what is everybody scared to say it? I'm going to put my niggas on the spot. Who in the room?
Eventually, that nigga probably...
Marcus, if you talking to a nigga who you know fuck niggas, is you going to treat him differently than a man who you know fuck women only?
Yeah. Yeah, that nigga might try to shoot at me one day.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
That nigga might make a pass at you.
But they always do when they relax. Because if you want if you're a man who want to fuck a man, you got weirdo tendencies.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a matter of time. You be at the bar with the nigga, and the nigga just you thick as hell, but that nigga made that touchdown. What this nigga say to me? You finally got that off, huh, nigga? That's what happened.
They got a different language, man.
Yeah. So Capone, we talking in jokes now. I ain't trying to diss you, my nigga. I'm just saying, you know it's a difference, nigga. You Capone, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Capone, you from the motherfucking streets. Been to college and everything. Come on, my nigga. You know it's a difference. Y'all stop acting like men who like men. The reason the homosexual hype dude is not out there interviewing everybody on his own show is because he don't want his show to turn into a gay show. And that's what it'll turn into if he out there.
All right, check this out, Joe. I want you to check this out, bro. Pierre shot back, bro, and it was entertaining, to say the least. And I believe Corey Holcomb's gonna be highly upset when he see this. So
yeah, without a doubt.
Yo, here we go. Fair use.
Just because the art ain't right, there's people who don't like you.
Yeah.
I will fight for you to express yourself.
That's right.
I went against Corey Holcomb and shit against for you and shit. I'm like, man, I want to fight.
Hold on, what happened with Corey Holcomb?
Nah, you know,
tell me.
I mean, you know,
I'm here now. So what's up?
He was trying to tease me. Oh, you know, I'm homosexual, whatever. Because I had you on the show.
He said that you were homosexual
because I had you on the show. And I said, hold on, you have Flame and Roll on your show, player. Let's not do this now.
Well, see, the difference is because he possibly found me more attractive than Flame, and I'm not saying that Flame because Flame is a beautiful trans woman, but you know, he probably saw her in this space.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And so therefore, he probably felt in a space like, oh, well, that's my homeboy, because you know,
with Flame.
Okay. You know, Flame is not a homeboy. I look at Flame as a woman.
Sure. Okay.
I've always looked at Flame as a woman, but Flame identifies as he, she, we. I identify as completely motherfucking she all day. I ain't no he, she, we with me. You know, that's Flame's identity. That's Flame's thing. And you know, that's what Flame gives that. You know, and Flame is okay. Like Flame say shit, you know, he pay the bills, she make the money, you know her slogan. Sure. And so I'm not, you know. And so maybe in that space, you know, he probably sees Flame as a homeboy.
Right. But you?
I'm a big baby.
So you think he sees you as a female?
He coulda. I don't care how much do I look like a man to you?
I mean, no.
I don't look like a man to a lot of folks, and they can lie, they can tell that lie all day because I walk broad daylight. I walk through, I bust this through. So even if a nooker jumped up and said that to me, jumped out the window and said that wouldn't hurt me because I know you lying to yourself. Because hands and feet don't make a woman. My aunt was 6 feet tall with big hands, big feet, and big pussy. Got 3-4 kids. Woo. So none of that stuff don't mean anything to me.
So you think he was saying that about me, about you on my guest because jealous? Because he might want to be sitting here, talking to you.
Jealous. You never know. You never know who done watched me be lick dicks back in the day.
Ooh, you might want his dick lick.
You don't never know who. You never know who watched me lick dicks back in the day on BigDickBitch.com. Oh, I'm a legend.
So he could be online.
I'm a legend. I'm an icon. You never know who dick I made ski cross the street before I became a fucking goddamn superstar. You never know. I don't pay.
I don't think Corey's like that.
I don't pay niggas like that no attention. You never know. It's okay. You see how you compliment me. You see how you can tell me, you're beautiful. You look nice. Because you know it is what it is.
Right.
You comfortable and you cozy, right? You comfortable in your skin, right?
Yeah. From here, shit. It's like, but damn, that nigga, okay.
Why he tell that nigga to come here and talk to me?
I asked him to come on my show. He said he'll come on my show, but he didn't want to come on my show.
Why he want to come? He could come. Ooh. Let me co-host with you when he do. Ooh. I don't like men that attack my friends.
It's all good.
No, but I don't like men that attack my friends for being my friends. You and I don't have no sexual contact. I may joke with you and stuff, but I haven't sent you an invoice, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Oh, I know that's right.
Let me let you niggas know something today. Let me look at this camera. Let you niggas know something. If I haven't sent you an invoice, bitch, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Damn. Did you send one to Corey? Okay.
He ain't got nothing to worry about.
Okay. Well, I thought that's why he might be jealous. You know.
He ain't got nothing to worry about.
He wanted part 2.
I don't know what they saw when they spent their $19.99.
Oh, on your
I couldn't tell you what they saw. They probably saw me lick.
No, Corey's not like that.
He saw me get my dick licked. Who knows?
He don't watch that kind of stuff. You
never know,
girl. Come on.
I'm a legend. I birthed bitches.
Ooh. Well, but he was upset that I,
why he mad about what you do?
I don't know. He know I'm a player. We a player.
And then he say, and then Flame his friend. That's what I don't get.
I don't know. He had Flame on the show, but I can't have you on the show.
Right.
The fuck's that?
That means he look at Flame different than he look at me.
Oh, watch out now. Watch out now.
And so Flame, my bitch.
Oh, so Flame is his homeboy. You his home toy.
Oh, he was at home playing with a toy.
Yikes! All right, let me get up myself.
Now, do you ask me when Shade was gonna come? Here it goes.
Here it comes. All right. Well, Corey, you always welcome to come.
Yeah. Hey, Corey. What's up, boo? Come holler at a real nigga. Oh my God. Ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
Oh, damn.
Not me.
Okay. All right. Well,
Always listen. All my life I've had problems with fat niggas.
Damn.
Because them little dicks, it be them little dick syndromes they be having. They been sucking my dick somewhere bigger than theirs, and they can't take it.
Woo.
Always a fat nigga, honey. And see, a bitch can call me fat, but see, niggas like fat bitches. They like BBW. You didn't hear Drake say he like BBWs?
Okay.
So calling me fat don't mean nothing. When a fat nigga be talking, I'm like, nigga, you gotta pay for pussy. You must.
Corey, you talk about paying
I get paid for the pussy that I don't even have, bitch.
You know Corey gonna hear this, right?
I don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck?
Tell that nigga to try a cheeseburger. Don't try me.
Well, let's go to another subject.
Anyway, let's go.
Damn. Okay.
What's his net worth?
I wanted to interject.
He said,
he's on a show called 5150, and he got his fans, and he kind of
what's his net worth?
Oh, I don't know that. I don't get in his shit like that. I don't get like that.
No nigga like
Don't
that.
call the TV salute, bro.
Niggas be talking. I wouldn't even let you pay me to lick my toes.
Okay.
And I wear size 12. What size you wear, nigga?
Yo, that's enough of that. That's enough of that, bruh.
That's a violation to our culture that we was just building on, God.
Yeah.
We got to be more conscious of what's happening to us. This, the homosexual personality has been a part of the American culture since the interjection of the Italian, the German, the French, and the English came here. We're dealing with a culture or a subculture that's been created in order to undermine what we do and how we live as a society. So being conscious of the war that's being waged, that's just one of the elements of war that the devil has used in order to emasculate the black man further or place the black man in a position of total subjugation.
Hey, hold on. You know what? You know what, I'm gonna say, son. The only reason I did this right and put this out here today because Corey Holcomb always talk about all these other men being gay and being homosexual because he dissing them. But I'm like, yo, bruh, you got a lot of tendencies yourself the way you be talking about these men. You know what I'm saying? How you know what they do? Was you in the room with them, nigga?
Well, see, like a lot of these brothers have been in the industry together for nearly 30 years. See, right. What we see, it's like the industry, bro. Like I've been in the industry for 32 years, started off as an employee with Def Jam and Bad Boy. So the stuff we see at work, you feel me? Stuff we see on tour, the world never see that stuff because it's personal. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're around somebody for a period of time, you separate yourself from who's who. Like the brother, like Pierre was speaking on Corey's ability to differentiate or separate the two, and Corey and them spoke on the ability to differentiate and separate the two. As black men, we know for a fact whether the only place homosexual black men get a pass without being interacted with is the barbershop. Everywhere else, black men have an automatic reaction to the homosexual man in the room. We can't act, we got to stop faking as human beings, bro. Like there's nothing wrong with being a homosexual in a society that builds, parades, and advances the homosexual agenda. There's nothing wrong with being a homosexual. You go right on over there and be a homosexual, like I'm going to be a heterosexual over here. Right. The problem is the deception behind one wanting to be a homosexual. They don't want to just have sex with people of the same sex. They want to integrate all human beings into that behavior so that we have a new Greece, we have a new Rome, a politically led society with a homosexual culture.
Like you said, basically having that dualism. That's all they want. They want dualism. They want that for you to have the, for us to have the both. And like you said, at the end of the day, I always tell people, if they push so much money, it's like whether they pushing a president or pushing somebody, if they get backing something, you got to ask yourself, why are they backing it? Like you said, why they don't back heterosexual? Why are they pushing this agenda? Because again, they understand that there is, to me, it's a bunch of weak men out there that just been exploited for really what they are.
I believe we also must look at the foundation of homosexuality when we start dealing with our brothers and sisters, because it's a mindset. Now, what they did in 1971, they began poisoning black women, bro, with what we call prenatal treatments, which is supplements that black women get. Well, women get, period, supposedly, vitamin treatments. Right. When you're pregnant, and the prenatal treatments that they were giving black women estrogen if they had a male fetus, and testosterone if they had a female fetus. So the children would come out with a chemical imbalance already mentally. So we have this swarm of homosexuality in our community. If you're over the age of 40, when you went to junior high school, elementary school, and barely high school, you barely seen any teenage homosexual ever. Right. I remember seeing 2 soft boys, and we knew one of them was a homosexual because his mom promoted that shit. See? Right. So, and that was back in the late 80s. So you didn't see no teenage and high school homosexuals running around rampant, but the foundation of homosexuality is where homosexuality comes from, which is the mentality of pedophilia. And pedophilia is not just taking sexual advantage of one that's entering pubescence, sexual pubescence. It's also taking advantage of one that's weak, damaged, or in need. And what they do, Born, you and I were taught the laws of homosexuality at a young age in a real environment. See, in prison, you wasn't allowed to be chilling and cooling out with the homos if you was a regular man, because they had their own world. And if you were caught fraternizing with any homosexuals, now you was to be treated as a member of their party, their circle, their cipher. You was not allowed to come amongst us, bro, because it's a sexual weakness.
Yo, God, 1 second. When I did my first big, I had braids in my hair. You know what I did when I got there? I twisted them shits up to dreadlocks. Because I was in no men braid my hair. Put your hands in my hair. I twist that shit to dreads.
Word is born, God. That's the first place I seen a man sit between another man's legs and get his hair done. Exactly. And then get up and act. See, even those guys, when you allowed yourself to be subjected to a homosexual in any way, the only way a homosexual had interaction with you is that you were either selling something, you were of service, or you had a position of authority, meaning that you were either the porter on the tier, you were someone connected to the cops that they needed as a medium to deal with. Other than that, you didn't deal with homosexuals because homosexuals already established their own line when they began having sex with other men. So you was a weak nigga if you played around with them boys. We used to always say, you play with them boys, don't come over here and fuck with these men. Yeah. Because nigga, we'll kill you, nigga, because you already done gave up the part of you that makes you me, which is your sovereign heart of dominance. When you enter another man or let another man enter you or interact with you sexually, you ain't even got to be physical. All you got to do is have the mental interaction, nigga, and you already done found yourself in a state of sin. So we got to stop playing with it and start treating it. Hey, if you want to be a homosexual, nigga, then be a homosexual and leave me alone. But children shouldn't know sex. No. And see, that's why I show you that the foundation of homosexuality in our society is pedophilia, bro. And we have to put a safeguard around our women and our children. If our women want to talk like that and empathize with homosexuality, as we learned in the Bible with Lot's wife, she empathized with the homosexual world, bro. So she suffered with the homosexual world when their downfall came. Yeah. See, and we not realizing why Lot's wife, Lot didn't sympathize with the homosexual world. He was at war with him. They was trying to rid him. They was trying to end him. He offered them men his virgin daughters. They didn't want them. They wanted to have sex with the men that was in his home. So we already know what type of corruption this mentality leads to. And we have to start treating it as that it was legal before 1985, bro. Homosexuality was a legal mental disorder. It was a legal mental retardation. Look it up. I was raised in that era. I was born, before that. So I know I watched it all happen and I watched it all change.
Yo, God, check this out. Somebody just put this grown man talk he said, I read a survey where it stated 75% of black males will either be homosexual or had a homosexual experience. That's by the year 2025. That's like 6 out of 10, bruh.
Right, 6 of every 10 black males. And you know why? In the 1920s, there was a woman who was the great aunt to the man we call Bill Gates right now, named Margaret Sanger. Yep. And he created a 10-point proposal to the United States government to create a program called Planned Parenthood. And the first point of the agenda and the mission was to emasculate black males to slow the reproductive activity of black people in the United States. That's why we've never risen above 20% of the United States population, and we've been here, bro, for 487 years. We got to look at the reality. How do we that make children 11-1 versus a white woman? A black woman makes children 11-1 versus a white woman. A white woman produces more male seeds than female seeds. A black woman produces more females than males. So how did we stay at 20% of the population when we outproduce them in birth by tenfold?
And you got to remember, John, like with Margaret too. She said, "Well, if they try to buck back, what we do is we bring in the black politicians and the preachers."
That's right, because we will teach them. Yeah. Just think about it, bro. Church used to be our revolutionary headquarters. Now church is desolate of real men. Church got homosexuals being the directors. Check the preachers, the women. The women are left with the responsibility to run the church, and the church is not no damn building, bro. The church is the activity of your community, and we don't see that because we get mixed up with that word religion. We put down the responsibility of what we're supposed to be doing as a community. So we got to rid that.
But see what happened, John, too, on top of that, people got bought into it, and we know that with the Jesse Jacksons and all them with that 501(c)(3). So when you do that, what you do is you're buying into the government. And if I'm giving you money periodically throughout the years, if you got a problem with me, you can't complain to me because I'm giving you money. And that's what we run into the problem with the churches. Like you said, it used to be the safe haven when some shit popped off. Now shit, ain't no church open up. If the government say all churches is closed, all churches is closed, and it's supposed to have been separated. What they allegedly said is separation of a church and state, but that's never been the case.
That's the new FBI, my brother. That we had an FBI that J. Edgar Hoover ran called the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but they created a one for the black community in the 80s called faith-based initiatives. And that program was to make faith churches nonprofit entities, whereas they didn't have to pay taxes on certain activities, but yet the government would control the activity, the content, and the influence. Like if you've been touched by God, if you've been anointed, because that's what the word anointed means. I pass my word, my spirit, my power on to you so that you can use that word, that spirit, that power to extend and advance my position or battle those that I am battling. My enemies become your enemies. So when the preacher's in the church, why would he need a degree from a college to deal with the reality of the black mind, which is your spirit or to be spiritual? Why would you need that? Which leads me to saying that black people got to wake the fuck up and stop allowing white people to do what they're doing. They have had the knowledge of themselves, been around black people for 90 years. And for more than 50 years, we've had a street activity of having knowledge of self. And neither one is called the church. You don't have ain't the Church of Gods and Earths? And ain't the Church of Islam. It's called the Nation of Islam and the Nation of Gods and Earths, which is what we've been trying to teach black people in this world, that stop thinking that your community is a country. It's not. The only way that your community becomes a country is that you link all communities under one culture, one law. And I suggest and I propose that black people stop dealing with all of this hyperbole and distraction and become unapologetically black. Everything black first. That's why Corey Holcomb Pierre and that brother on there that's seriously confused to think that if you can disguise and deceive another man into believing that you are a woman when we interact with you, nigga, and you wearing a size 13 shoe and you got a 10-inch palm. No, brother, that Adam's apple in your throat, them cheekbones, that bone structure, the way your back, your shoulders built, the way your hips are built, the way your knees and legs are built, you can get all of the cosmetic reconstruction you want. You can't control your skeletal construction, bro. That's the first activity of life that you have. So that's been made in a masculine format. And when you get with a man that's 150 pounds, that's 5'5", bro, and find out that you're not the man, that you are not the woman that he wants, and you're a man instead, you have to deal with that hell that may even concede to your death. So we keep playing these games. When you can choose your actions, when the consequences come, you can't choose the consequences.
Because we both know, Jai, ain't no fucking way a motherfucker like that tell me that, yeah, I'll whoop your ass. Motherfucker, you gonna have to whoop, because I'm about to, that's what you gonna have to do. You done disrespected everything, and then to say that, and that's why I said how they put that on there, for them to say that nobody can tell. Like, what the fuck does, see, that's the shit where the confusing part where they try to manipulate us by these words. And I tell us, man, we got to watch the words that are coming out. Words do penetrate through the spirit. It goes through the atmosphere. So when a thing, because I'm sorry, that's just as me. That's my personal preference, because again, you cannot classify it. It's either male, female, or other. And that's what other is, a thing. It's a widget. I call it a widget. It's a widget. It does not exist.
I call them a shim.
Yeah.
Bro, I call them what they are. My homosexual customers, bro, I hug my lesbian sisters and I shake and give a pound to my homosexual brothers. You're not allowed to treat me as if I'm crazy. And that's our problem. We keep allowing everyone to assimilate. If I'm God, if I'm the sole controller of self, bro, if I control my atmosphere, my cipher, then when you come in it, you interact with me as I am.
That's right.
When I sat at the hibachi table at a hibachi restaurant, and two homosexual brothers came in, and they had 3 sisters with them, bro. And when they sat down, instantaneously, the sister that I was with, she went to the bathroom. She was like, "Yo, it's gonna be a problem." But when she came back, she seen I had them brothers conducting themselves as men. Bro, I understand who you are and what you want to be. You told me that. All right, we done with that, bro. Thank you. My name is Jakim. Peace. Now, from this point on, recognize, though, that I'm a man and I got knowledge of self, and I'm a father, and I'm a real constructive person in my neighborhood. And this is what I do. I build, because I'm a man. I create. So this environment that I have, that I walk around with, this aura that you see, bro, just compliment mine like I compliment yours. And if I'm not going to be touching on your boyfriend's butt, don't you act like you can kiss your boyfriend in front of me.
Exactly.
See? This is the reality. And we see people, I'm heterosexual. You don't see me rubbing my woman's butt and kissing her and acting all sexually affectionate in the public, because that's the activity and behavior of the uncivilized, the immature. And you don't do that.
You got to remember, half these people, they all automatically think that in dating another gender that is love. And I tell every time, it's lust, because God is love. God, like you said, creates. You're a procreator. So then therefore, it's all lust. There's no creation in lust. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you have to create something out of love. And that's the thing about it. And I try to tell them, you can't be for God, because if you got to be for God, if you're going that way and you got to be for God, in order for you to have something godly like a child, you got to go God's way. So if you're not following the path of creation, and if you say, I want a child, 2 women say they want a child, they have to go outside of what is evil and go into what is good in order to create something good. And that has to be with man and woman. And that's the beautiful thing about God, is the fact that you could do all that. You chop your shit, clip your shit, cut your shit, add your shit. But at the end of the day, when we all die, they identify you by your bone structure. They don't say that you was a female, or they're going to check your bone structure, because your bone structure do not lie, and you cannot reproduce. In order for you to say
your chromosomes don't lie, bro. Your chromosomes are lie.
No, and that's what I'm saying. When you
chromosomes,
Yeah, and when you and this is the thing that it pisses me off. When people say they're transitioning, transition is into a complete form. You can never get to the complete form of a woman because you cannot produce. This is where the problem of the word is confusing. Like you say, that we just they think we're crazy to use a word like transition. If I'm transitioning from one state to another, that means I'm going through a transition, but my end goal is to get to this end. You'll never get to an end because you're never going to be able to fulfill yourself as a woman or a man, because you can't do what God allowed us to do, is to create.
Bro, if I sat down with that brother that's under the guise of a woman and talked to him for about 20 minutes on a camera, see, he couldn't refute truth. And the problem is we're not speaking truth to power in defense of ourselves, because we as black men, we talking about this shit right now, bro. Y'all got to understand that the world is being made like this around us, and our seeds, our children, are going to have to combat a stronger force, a stronger power, bigger campaign than what we're combating right now. And it's going to be much more blatant. It's going to be legal. It's going to be violent against our children if we don't create a united front. And the one thing we have to remember, that the war is against black masculinity at the root. So who we are, we changed and civilized white people, bro. They was living like savages. White men were having sex with each other from young ages, because there wasn't enough women amongst white people. So this is what we're at war with white men that have created a system to make us them. Yep. And at the end of the day, Pierre, he supports an agenda that's other. We have to realize that these people don't have knowledge of self, bro. So when we look at the 85%, not only do we have to have we have to have some compassion and mercy for them while dealing with their ignorance, their hard-headedness, their rebellion. We have to have at the same time some compassion and mercy for them, because they are our people. And if we kill all of our troops, then we can't qualify to win in war. So the key is to do our hardest job that we have to do as black men, bro. We have to teach our women and our children what's right and what's wrong, and pray like Lot that they follow, meditate like Lot, send that thought to them like Lot, that they can follow us so we can extend our seed. Even Lot was desolate after leaving that situation, because when Lot left Sodom and Gomorrah, he was by himself with his 2 daughters, which led white people into the ideology of acceptance of incest, which really didn't happen in the book, because the Quran tells you other people left with Lot. But this is the mentality that we got from a people that come from that. And black people have to realize we were not like none of this when we got here, bro. And those of us that was here before they got here, we wasn't like this. None of this stuff was happening. Just like race is a business from a country. It didn't happen before until America. So until we realize that we are not who we actually are, and I tell black people all the time, be your goddamn self. Stop trying to be something and somebody else, bro. The best thing in life that you can be is yourself. Nobody else can be a better you than you. And we got to start doing that unapologetically black.
That's fact.
Damn, bro. My bro going in there. I like that shit, bro. Stay talk that shit, bro.
Yeah, no, that's real shit, man. Because at the end of the day, that's where the accountability got to be made, man. And it gets frustrating, like you said, Ja. While we're speaking every day, they're trying to figure out a different way to come back towards us as straight men. And it's like, my thing is this, man, to each his own. Even back in the days, hey, man, what you do, that's your thing. But the problem is, anytime somebody's putting this much backing and power behind a machine to push an agenda, like you said, it's almost like it's a reverse, right? It's almost like they done tapped in and they want to be us more than we want to be us. And we want to be them more than they want to be us.
I'm going to tell you something. When they messed up at, and I'm really going to say this, is when they try to make the homosexual plight like the black man's and black woman plight in America. It's a totally different. You know what I'm saying? That's a mental disability. That's a mental disability. Correct. Our skin color and our heritage isn't a mental disability.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That right there, that's not a learned behavior. We was born like we was born. They ain't born like that.
Well, I mean, let's go further. Even think about it, where they set everybody up. Because again, in cultures, we're so sympathetic, right, and empathetic. When the whole Me Too movement was just really to kind of eradicate the woman itself. Because at the end of the day, that's when they brought in the whole transgender movement. Now they're telling women that you are no longer a woman, you are a breeder, and whatever that other person is considered a woman, because that's a feeling. That's how they have got to this point now, which is sad because, again, that's a disrespect to all the women who have birthed and carried kids and then went through trauma and lost kids. For somebody to come up and just say, this is how I feel like a woman, so now you have to respect me as such. And then we're crazy because we say, you're not a woman. And then they get now we're looked at as being discriminatory when in fact, man, we have no other rights. Everybody else has rights in front of them, except when they just dismantled the Willie Lynch law. But that still they ain't got shit to do with what we got going on now.
My brother, that's why I said we have to, as men, take back control of our communities, and it starts with your household. If you love your woman, bro, if you love your wife, if you love your girlfriend, teach her and advise her of how detrimental this culture, that subculture, that activity and thinking is for her.
Salute. Salute for the donation, man. I appreciate it, man.
Salute,
my brother, hit me with another 20 piece.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the God. Eastwick in the building. That's right. All right.
We have to protect our women by protecting their minds. The woman your mother is your first God. She's your second God, bro. First, you God herself when you acknowledge life. Then your mother is your second God. So once we teach and protect our earth, she'll reproduce a star that will shine regardless of what darkness is given it. And the problem is we're not dealing with our women, bro. The Willie Lynch law, like Cross said, has come into full fruition as the philosophy has become our own thinking. They don't have to enforce it no more. We just function like a program to what that law and that philosophy has said. So they have separated the women and men. They did that in '84 when they introduced Oprah with the single independent black woman mindset. And once you separate the men and the women from each other mentally, now you can attack the kids, which how beasts plot when they go to hunt and they prey. They separate the power structure and then they attack the weak, which is the young, because the young is the new introduction of power. And if you allow the young to live without introduction, they will now become a new face of your enemy. So our children and our women has to be protected. And that's why we got to start dealing with niggas like Pierre. We got to start dealing with niggas with like these trans, man, I don't give a fuck who you is. When you start attacking me, we need to defend ourselves. And we got to stop being quiet while they get away with these silent attacks, homophobia. Now, ain't nobody scared of you. We just anti-homosexual. We just don't like being a hoe. We're like women. We don't like what you do. Your behavior is what you choose to do. But I love you, cousin. I love you, bro. I love you,
that's what I
auntie.
said. And people kill me when they use the word phobia, because phobia means to run from and terror or fright. And we're not afraid. Ain't nobody. We're men. We stand on our own 10 toes. We're accountable. So we're not afraid. And that's what they got it misconstrued about us. Ain't nobody afraid of you. I'm saying, if I'm over here and I got my own thing over here, why are you coming over here fucking with me? I'm not coming over here, because if I go over there fucking with you, you have every right to say, hey, something ain't right about you. But if you come over here fucking with me, I have to accept that you want to come over here and hang out with me. That doesn't make any sense. So if I were to say that, then I say, if I went over there, you say, okay, well, he must like it. That's what he must like. So if you come over here on this straight and narrow, you must like straight and narrow, because that's the only road we taking over here. And that's the thing I don't like. It's almost like they're trying to socially bully the straight man to make us say, okay, we get it now. No, we'll never get it because we weren't morally raised that way.
Yo, God, you see Lord? You remember the movie Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I do.
You remember the creature Smeagol?
Yeah.
Now, whenever you looked at him, he wasn't accepted by either or, right? And Smeagol always played the victim to get what he want. But when he couldn't get what he want as the victim, or when he found you in a state of weakness, the demon came out of him.
He attack you.
When you look at how the homosexual community has had 100-year campaign on our society, and I'm speaking politically, this has all been a methodical execution of an agenda that was planned long ago. So when we look at the 100-year history of it, NAMBLA is in full effect. And NAMBLA is North American Men Boy Lovers Association. Has been that they've been with they adopted themselves with the civil rights movement. When the Jews came in to control the civil rights movement, and Martin Luther King had a problem with that. That's why he separated from the SCLC in the end, because he didn't want the inclusion of the Jews who brung right along in with them NAMBLA. And NAMBLA was an outcast in the South because white people know that a white homosexual prevents them from having more sons.
Right.
See, there ain't no problem with us being homosexuals. That's why white men used to buck us in slavery. Once all the women watch you get raped in front of the men, you're no longer the big God stud no more. They put your ass out in that field because psychologically you can't reproduce a stud. And you need that mentality from birth, but you need to control it as a white man have always done. You know, the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, you know, and everything else that they have us doing, controlling our athletic excellence. They used that in that day and time and usurped themselves into a campaign amongst the civil rights movement, and they stole Martin Luther King's plan, which was the poor. You look it up, the Poor People's Campaign. He made that as a new party for us. So then we had to vote Democrat or Republican, because Martin Luther King was a Republican his whole life. Then he came before the people and said, hey, that's when they killed him. He said, our people are no longer Republican nor Democrat. Democrats was all Klansmen. If you look it up, that's who created the Democratic Party. The Klansmen and the Supreme Wizard in Indiana created the Democratic Party, and that's how we were first the Federalist Party.
Well, you know, and you think about it, John. They tried to make Martin Luther King as this soft-spoken, but you got to remember before he didn't even want to come to the South because he was more radical. And he said, "Man, why the fuck do I got to come down there? We need to go down there and be more radical." And they said, "Whoa, we can't do that because we're trying to change it." That's why at the end, when he had the last video, people forget that they don't show that on the Black History, where he said the worst thing he did was when he did that march and he tried to bring blacks and whites together because he never talked about money. And he said they realized all they wanted was black folks was to be accepted by white people. And he said that's not what his thing was. They spent it. And that's why he was pissed off at the end. He said it was the worst thing he ever did, trying to do that shit, because he was more radical. And that's why motherfuckers don't realize. They act like he was this soft-ass, weak dude. That's why I said when shit came out about him, that's how they was able to exploit him. Oh, he was fucking white girls. He was doing this. Man, he was just a regular nigga, but he wanted to come down here and really change the South. And they didn't want him to do it like that.
Do you know what happened to Martin Luther King? There's an interview with Coretta Scott King, but I met Coretta Scott King in 1997 at Savior's Day, bro, and she gave a speech. See, Martin Luther King was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 2 months. And what the reporters, the J. Edgar Hoover and them, they had the Honorable Elijah Muhammad house tapped, and they took their pictures together, and then they put them on all of the, like, look it up. They put them on the newspapers, and Martin Luther King instantly became the new Malcolm X, and the South abandoned him. That's how they killed him. Coretta Scott King said that the Deacons of Defense was taking care of Martin Luther King for 6 years. They was his Secret Service. He was staying in homes when he went down south. He was staying in homes wherever he went down there, and he would only stay for 48 hours in one home, and then he'll go to another home. And the Deacons of Defense, which is ex-military veterans from the Korean and World War II, they would be they was his security with guns. And you look up the Deacons of Defense, and that Medgar Evers was part of the construct. He was a former vet, and he knew that we had to fight against white people in the street. So Medgar Evers was a very, very strong brother we should study as well. But the Deacons of Defense took care of Martin Luther King until J. Edgar Hoover and them put out that Martin Luther King was the new Malcolm X. He was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they had them pictures of him at Honorable Elijah Muhammad's house. And after that, black people abandoned him, Coretta Scott King said. She said they would have never had to stay in a Lorraine motel if black people were still securing Martin Luther King. See, when he made his last speech and said, "I fear that I've led my people to a burning house," and told them that now it's time for us to hit white people where it hurt economically. They killed him, bro, the next day. And if we study Martin Luther King personally, like I tell people, man, study some of these brothers personally outside of what they did for our people. Just study who they are. Martin Luther King was an academic genius, bro. Like when I say academic genius, like you know, I've been gifted and talented my whole life in my education. But when I studied what he did, it was like impossible, bro, to what we fathom now. That's why I tell us.
Didn't he graduate college at 16?
No, 15. He went to high. He graduated all the studies of the highest level of high school in the country at the age of 15. He graduated with his sister that was 3 years older than him. Went to Morehouse and graduated less than 2.5 years, bro. By the time he was 20, he was a doctorate. It's insane. Like his studies, and I'm like, I tell people all the time, my aunt is Kitty Parham. She is the Stars of Faith. They sung at Martin Luther King's funeral with Mahalia Jackson and all of that. That was a group. And they sung at Martin Luther King's funeral. So I had his obituary, and that's how I learned about
let me ask you a
background.
Question. Let me ask you a question. Now that we talk about Mom, what you think about Jesse Jackson? Do you think Jesse Jackson set up Martin Luther King?
Without a doubt. I believe Jesse Jackson was instrumental in them plotting on him, inadvertently or directly. I believe he was instrumental in them plotting on him, because you got to remember now, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton was like 17 and 22 years old. You feel me? They weren't like, these were very young men. Like when we deal, when we dealing with those,
and they were street niggas. People fail to realize, straight up street niggas.
Right, and that's another problem we don't look at.
I don't think that they set him up, but I'll say this. I think that people got to look at Dr. King, who Dr. King's father was first. And then how powerful he was in the moves that they were making before King, because the civil rights movement didn't start with Dr. King. Nope. He was already moving. You know what I mean? We had already had a surgence of freedom all the way back from the days of Martin Delany through Garvey all the way up to Dr. King. So you had already had different divisions of how we was moving. And Dr. King's father was a part of those movements. Now, when they killed King, something that nobody never talk about, the very next year they killed his brother. A.D. King was the radical one. That was the one that was really radical. That's why they never put him in the tabloids like that, because he was the one more on that pro-black, fuck the white man shit.
And he killed his mother.
Yeah, they killed his mother years later in the church in 1974 while she was playing the organ. And it's funny how last year when I was teaching this and talking on this, 90% of the people never even knew his mother was killed. And I don't blame the white man for this. I blame the black people for this. The black church. When I was a kid, nobody ever talked about the murder of Dr. King's mother. Most black young people never even knew his mother was murdered. They didn't even talk about it. But this is what I'm saying. If you got a father, right, and your father's a minister in the South, and he's kicking up dust, they killed off his whole family and left him alive. Why? I don't always look at the shit that the white man puts on TV or in our face for trauma. I look at his methods and why he does what he do. Why did you kill this whole man's family and leave him alive? What was the point that you was trying to make? The same thing when they killed all the Kennedys, and we look at Joe Kennedy and what Joe Kennedy was involved in. Why did you kill Dr. Martin Luther King Sr.? Wipe out his whole family. That's the questions that we need to ask. So like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's on the table within our Black community of things that's not talked about. But like I said, they found his brother face down in the pool in 1969, and that really goes mum. Like nobody talks about it. So all we talk about is the murder of King. They killed the whole family, bro.
Well, you know why they did that? That was because at the end of the day, they automatically knew that, hey, if we say that again, that goes back to whether they talk about Huey P. Newton and when they do that, and these young Black kids in school, if they were to think about how the rap game, how the industry has switched the rap game as their new Black history leaders, right? So if we or they would push the issues in the school curriculum instead of talking about what they call that shit now, to feel sorry for Black kids in school, or whatever, the whole gentrification or gender, whatever the fuck that is they got now. Instead of just saying these were the leaders that came out during this time, we don't want nobody, no pity party for nobody in the schools to tell the kids that this white kid has a better opportunity than you, and our society created the majority of everything that walks. Like, come on, man. That's all it takes is for these kids to know these people. Like, and again, and that's why I love this platform, because we allow these kids to know. And like you was just saying it, George, like we got to start saying that, and then it's just keep on repeating it, put in the atmosphere.
Yeah, when we can't let up. Like I tell people all the time, like they got us so blinded to history. When you have Black people, that was a long time ago, we got to move on. I say, bro, they killed Dr. King. They killed his mother, man. And they try to say that some retarded military guy did it. No, they killed his brother. Yep. They killed Medgar Evers. Bro, they killed our people. We never going to forget about that. Never. So it's set up where it's like if white people say they sorry for things in history and I don't want to forgive them, I'm all of a sudden the bad guy. I'm a racist. But you would never do that to a Jew. No, I don't fuck with them like that. Do I walk around hate all white people? No. But do I have an agenda with them? Because there's been no form of recompense that we can't even hold hands and pray together. Because like I said, scripture says, unless two men make recompense for the things that's before them, you can't even come before God. I can't hold hands and pray with you. Like you've never made amends for what you did to my people. But and that's the mentality that we gotta have. We can do business with them. That don't mean we walk around mean, mugging, and hating. We supposed to take what they did to us, like the Jews do, and use our history to empower us. So when we walk in the room, they should be afraid when we come in the room because they know we unapologetic and uncompromising. We
unapologetically Black.
Yeah, we don't operate that way because, and then they kill me with this Dr. King was sleeping with these white women. Produce the photos. Where's it at? They would have been, show me in all the technology days, show me where he was with these white women. Show it to me. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I've seen the allegations. I mean, it's funny how they do that. They say Malcolm X was gay, Elijah Muhammad was a pedophile, Dr. King was with these white women. It's just crazy. Was it Thurgood Marshall was a CIA agent? I mean, anything that's associated with us, man, y'all better, man.
Any Black man that's doing something against the system that's against us has been vilified and demonized, and Black people, ignorant of the fact that it's your own people that's there to help you, they attach on to the empathy and the influential drunkenness that the white man give them emotionally. And say, hey, he's trying to hurt that good white person or those good white people. The first thing Black people always say is, all white people ain't bad. Well, no, every white person ain't bad, just like every Black person is not a nigga. But you don't understand the difference because you've been made emotionally drunk by an enemy that has never done you any good. When you don't study your history, what you do next becomes your history. And that they think that absolves them of responsibility to what got you here to do something next.
Well, and it's just like you just said, John. Use an example. These young kids, when they become famous or they make it, and they get these people, these business managers that's helping these agents, right? They only go by the euphoric emotion. Say, yeah, they said he's good. He's good. They don't never do a background check, but let it be a brother. They want to know what you done did, everything you done did, and that's where it's kind of fucked up, psychologically fucked up. Because and then what happens at the end? Those agents end up robbing them because they don't know no better.
Well, that's part of the trick of how white supremacy works. And that's why I tell people all the time, we gotta go back and reread King Leopold's letter to the missionaries on what he did when he was in the Congo, and how he got a lot of his information based off of what was happening here in Americas, on how they was breaking us. So when he talked about divorce the African from everything that they would do to affront us, meaning take them away from their knowledge, and we must keep their women in 9 months of suppression to work for us for free. So we got to understand what they wrote and what they said. So now, with that being said, in this country, all white people are inherently racist. That don't mean that they would use bigotry on you to try to harm you. I don't think they're all white people that way. But when you grow up in a system where Santa Claus is white, Jesus is white, all the inventors, so-called inventors by their saying are white, anything associated with power and greatness is white, you're socially engineering white people to see you as subordinate to them. And that's how it's broken down. So now when you're a black person looking at the world through a black lens, where do you see yourself written into the story? As a subordinate. So you behave as a subordinate. If they told you since you was a kid that Jesus was white, when you see white people, or you see Captain America and Superman is white, what are you going to do when you see white people? This is all social engineering, and we don't study the playbook as to how this thing operates. They created this construct for us to live in it. It's a fictional world that we're living in, and we see them as the alpha. That's why you go to a stream. We can shoot up a block, and 2 white cops pull up. We didn't kill 88 niggas. As soon as the white police pull up, we drop our guns and run.
Right.
That's the mentality, bro.
But you know what, yo, God, but you know what, bro? That's that fear that was a plan in us since we was babies. You know how they used to murder, how used to kill how used to cut the woman's stomach open, hang her in front of a bunch of people, cut her stomach open, let the baby fall out, to stomp the baby in the head. That's that fear they planted us back then. And it's still, it goes through the ages, you know what I'm saying?
It's genetic.
Hereditary. That fear comes back. You still feel the fear. Like I might feel the fear from my mother. My mother feel the fear from my mother. My father feel the fear from my father. It keep going and going and going. And that's it planting us. Now we have strong, my parents and our ancestors were strong and they fought back and they ain't let that fear implant in them. That's when you get brothers like us that come out and say what we want to say and do what we want to do, because we was born through strong genes. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I think you're right about that. And two, one thing that we all on the panel starting to understand is we're starting to self-identify. We're starting to learn that just because what somebody said, that don't necessarily mean that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And like even the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. And I think a lot of us don't do that. We're, like you said, we're so emotionally invested in what's going on in the world that it has nothing to do with us. Think about it. Everything that goes on that we talk about and we bring up has nothing to do with us in the world except pain and drama.
Ari Spears looking crazy out here. You're absolutely right.
But Ari Spears, you factual on Kyle Allen as well, because as I teach the children, Superman is technically, scientifically, a black man. He generates his energy from the sun. White people are allergic to the sun. Well, and the sun strengthens and empowers black men.
Yeah, they used to call us the people of the sun.
So when we know our history.
Let me say one thing. You remember the first Marvel comic before Superman, the black Superman that Marvel comic used to have?
Yep.
They turned into a white woman now. Was Captain Universe?
Captain Universe used to be black.
No. You mean
Captain Marvel.
You talking about Captain? You talking about Marvel? Marvel. Captain Marvel is the wife of Marvel, and Marvel was first. He was the first
Shazam used
cosmic
to be
unit.
Shazam used to be black back in the day too.
Peace, Chris.
Yeah, Black Adam.
But
when you look at the comic books and you look at that history right there, they show you there's a character in Marvel, the most powerful mutant in existence. His name is Blue Marvel. It's a black man.
Yeah.
And they break down how mutants began, and they began from Apocalypse. And you know where Apocalypse is from? He's from Egypt.
That's why I was about to go. Most of those characters in the comic books come from Egyptian and South and West African deities. When you're dealing with Shango and Yamaya and all those different things, if you study the principles of African cosmology and spirituality, you're going to see and some of the Native American culture too. When they stole us, they stole everything about us, and they used us as an economic stream for them. So everything, man, all that stuff is based off of indigenous people's story, man. But the problem is we don't know our story. That's why I'm imploring black people, man. Like a lot of times, man, we talk about the Willie Lynch letter a lot, and people say, well, the Willie Lynch letter is fake, and I say, okay, well, that's cool. But I tell people, go look up P.W. Botha. Look up what he wrote about the African and how to break the African. And then look up, like I said, look up Madison Grant, the rising of the great race. He was part of the aristocracies here in America in the Eugenics Society. Look up him, H.S. Chamberlain. Look up what they said. Once you understand what they said, then you'll understand how they built this system.
Hold on, part self. Tristan, my condolences, bro. My condolences. He said somebody got their hair blown off in his studio last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And here in Philadelphia, 5 kids on the football team got gunned down after practice last week.
Yeah, last week.
Wow, that's sad. I was out there. We was out there in the street with the megaphones protesting and going ham, and I'm going ham on the community. But all of this leads credence to what I'm saying. I'll say this. I'll mute up. I said this last night on my live stream. From the time a black boy is born, because all of us was boys at one time, and now we're men. In the black community, because of our dysfunction, black boys are learning how to be men by the time they become men, and they learning on the fly. From the time a boy comes out of a womb, he has to be cultivated and taught what his culture is, what his role is to the community. If you don't raise up a boy under the guidance of protection and leadership of men, he's going to be destructive against anything that comes across his way till he matures, if he lives long enough. And we see that in the communities. So we kill each other because we don't know who we are to ourselves. We don't know the relevance in ourselves. We don't know our history. We're named with names that don't mean anything that comes back to our village. So what do? We destroy each other until we mature. I was one of those boys. And it took me to go to prison. And it was a brother from the nation that actually told me who I was and that I was smart. Nobody ever told me that. So you know what I did when I saw my brother? He was my fucking enemy. I didn't know nothing about white supremacy. So that's all I want to say.
Nah, that's respect.
My brother, that's the actual fact, because that's the path that most of us, I know I can bear witness from those of us that's on this live right now, that path we have traveled. And we right now all share the same mission and trying to revive and resurrect our people, bro, because we living in a dead state. And that's why death is so subtle, so common, so insensitive, because we living in a dead state. We dead mentality, dead man walking. And we got to bring our people back to life, bro. And that's only with the knowledge of self. Once you get the knowledge of self, you see the light of life. And that's our problem.
We got top of the morning, man. I just want to tell y'all dropping some straight truth bombs and jewels this morning, fellas. Knowledge is power. Y'all all know this. That's why a lot of these other races come over here and disrespect us, because they know the school system that was given to us had dumbed us down. So they can come over here and call us slaves, this and that. But once you start understanding that they was colonized too, like Spain colonized the world. Like you got Mexicans coming over here calling us slaves, but y'all were slaves too. The Spaniards did that, but they don't teach you that in school over here. So all these other races could come over here and down you, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, jump on the bandwagon for stuff that we still currently fighting for. You got people that want reparations over here in the United States, and their oppression came from somewhere else, but yet they're still looking for the United States to pay it. Like for black, well, if black people getting it, No, we fought a different fight in the United States than everybody else. But see, if you don't know that, like you was talking about MLK's family, you know, you see, you dropped a whole lot of truth bombs in there that people don't know.
Right.
And you give people, you was giving people the perspective that they should be looking from and not the narrative that was given. It's like, nah, bro, that man, salute to y'all for dropping all them truth bombs and them jewels, bro.
Nah,
Y'all was dropping jewels.
Yeah, hey, boom.
Our boys don't know how to be unapologetic towards the system because, like I said, they broke down. They devalue us and they took away our history. So what they've done was they've taken away everything that we would use to affront them, and that's what King Leopold said in his letter. They've taken it away. So now what we do is we'll do it to each other. But that's why I always say, like, I don't talk too much about our women and state of our women, because I know for a fact that the enemy knows if you break down the boys and you disrupt from the time a boy exits the womb, if you disrupt his upbringing, you will uproot the community.
So basically, you saying take the man out the boy before he can become a man.
Yeah, and what you do, but what you got to do is before he's born, you got to take his parents. You got to create disruption between the way that the woman vets a man, the way that the man vets a woman. So now you have unprepared boys coming into the world that's not going to be raised up right, because there's no culture or system that dictates how we treat our mates, how we pick our mates, how we operate. So now you got young boys that women, when they're grown, are going to have expectations in these boys. That's why the girls are wild and so disgruntled, because they have expectations in men in our community that's not capable of meeting them, because they was never taught. There's no system set in place teaching boys to be men. So so now watch this. That's because groups of other competing men created this division. So that way the community will always be uprooted, because it starts with your man. So how can you have a community where your men are still boys?
Not just that, we got a community where we got our people that's cool with little boys being girls and little girls being boys. What the hell kind of community do you think you're gonna have when that's everybody's mindset?
Right, but that's because you don't have a structure set up where you have unapologetic men that, like, just think about it, right? We put babies in women, right? And we make our own families. Most of us, I'm gonna say this. I put this on the table, and I'm gonna shut up because I want to hear from you guys. What is the standard and expectation for a black man or a young black? What is the standard and expectation? How high is the bar set for a young black man in the communities we come from? I'll mute up.
Well, to be honest with you, I say the bar is set real low for us. They want young black men to just shut up and be good workers and don't have a voice. I mean, you can see that in politics. You can see that the most endangered species in America right now is the heterosexual black man.
Right.
Okay, if you're a heterosexual black man, they're trying to get rid of you. You see who they pushing to the forefront. They're pushing P Valley. They're pushing like D Wade's son.
Right.
Look at the name of the show. We talking about this trans stuff. You know that's going on. Look at what was just happening with Benzino. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're pushing in our community. It's just straight up dysfunction. And the men that try to stand up, like take Bourne. Bourne will get crit. Like he said, I think he did a show on it. When he was out here wilding out, everybody loved him. But now he out here spitting his truth, dropping these truth bombs. He probably got more haters now than ever. So you see, dysfunction is too common amongst us, period, as men and women, and we're treating it to our kids. Look at the story he just did yesterday about them two dudes that blew themselves off the map. Them dudes was like 20, 21. These were young men, dude, and look at what we doing to each other. Like 1090 Jake said, one of them dudes looked like he got hit with a hand grenade, dude, if you see that picture. That's what we doing to each other, bro. That's what's happening in our community.
Hey, Bourne. Hey, Bourne. I wanted to say, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, y'all going off topic, because I really ain't interested in celebrity gossip shit. And this is one of the best shows that I've witnessed that you've had. When we educating each other, we talking about how we gonna build ourselves back up, build our community, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I appreciate all the brothers on the panel, because I'm learning. I'm 44, and I'm learning as y'all speak. There's a lot of things that y'all said that I never had no idea that, you know what I'm saying, about the Martin Luther King mother and all this. Like, it's just so much information. And if we can get away from the celebrity gossip and start building our people back up, you know what I'm saying?
We said one
Hey,
thing.
let me drop a jewel. Let me drop one jewel on y'all before I leave, y'all, because I'm at work, so I just took a break.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, look, they call us African Americans, but I don't think a lot of people know that when Scipio Africanus defeated Hannibal Barca at the Battle of Carthage, that they changed Alkebulan or Alkebulan to actual Africa. Okay, you're not an African. Scipio Africanus, or the name Africa, is a white man. So when they call you African American, they're still calling you a white man's property. Scipio Africanus is once he defeated Hannibal Barca, and they stole all the knowledge from the Library of Alexandria, and they rewrote it and put their name on it. Socrates, Plato, all them niggas got famous off of stolen knowledge that we had. So that's another thing. Stop calling yourself a goddamn African American. They told you, if you ever seen the movie Gladiator, if you remember, they talked about it briefly in the movie Gladiator when they first found out Maximus was alive. They was reenacting the Battle of Carthage. After the Battle of Carthage is when they gave that continent or that region Africa or Africanus. So prior to that, it wasn't no Africa. And y'all can look that up too. So I just thought that, you know, you got to go to the beginning to find out where you are right now. That's why they keep trying to rewrite the past, to keep niggas confused. But salute, fellas. Keep dropping them jewels. I'm listening, Born. You know, I'm on the forklift, but I'm listening. So, you know what I'm saying? Salute, fellas.
All right.
And I'm a piggyback.
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Black to Pete, what I wanted to say is sometimes you got to put the medicine in their food. So even when you see celebrity gossip up here, we always going to bring forth the truth through anything we talk about.
Right. So like you were saying, and I'm gonna piggyback back to what George was saying. I think the we need to get back to what, again, when we talk about stealing, a lot of things they stole. They stole the vision of what a family was. You know, we fail to realize white folks start coming out. When they come out and they say stuff, is to take away from or to say it's theirs, right? The white picket fence. The slaves back then built their own homes, the picket fences. And they said, think about it, white men didn't build their homes. It was the slaves. They built the homes. They had the families. We don't have where, you know, back then where we had something to look at. Oh, we want a family, the white picket fence. So think about it, even the girls nowadays, they don't even play house. Young girls don't even play house. They don't even know what that is, because that built the structure where they saw mommy and daddy in the house and they play house. They don't even do that no more. And that's where a lot of that stuff where the white folks took it. But guess what? They still adopt that blueprint. They stole that blueprint from us. They try to keep the unit of the home, and then we're thrown away with all the rest of the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it is we have to, like you said, how does a young black man know anything about the moral character? That's what we need to start protesting, because, again, they're pushing those entertainers, but we don't have to support them. And that's where we go wrong. Just because you black don't mean we can self-identify with what the shit you doing. And that's what we have to decipher that bullshit, because they're going to keep putting black face. It ain't nothing to me. It's nothing but a black person playing white face. That's it. They just put the black person there, but he's playing white face for them. And that's what we get wrong at. And every time we start figuring it out, they switch the game up. And then they go somewhere else. And that's what we guys got to identify. When we call bullshit, it's just bullshit. You know, like Boo said, like, I didn't like the fact that he's giving free promo to something that he's saying he don't like, instead of him going to Netflix. Well, to me, it just seemed like black person, white face, to say, y'all don't go watch that movie. Now the shit is doing numbers. And everybody talked about this white man who just disrespected, and the whole premise is based off degrading black men. That's all this shit was. The whole series is about a white man having dominance over black men. Like, this shit is sick. But then instead of him saying that, he's saying boycott it. Well, now that means somebody's going to watch it.
Right. Hey, yo, great conversation, bro. I just want to say salute to the panel. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to drop back down. I'm doing a little bit of cleaning, but you know what I'm saying? Intelligence, you know what I'm saying? We have to build that into each other's mind. You know what I'm saying? We got to, we can't allow to keep letting our children fall victim to the systematic teachings that they learn in school. You know what I'm saying? You have to, when your kids come home, you have to re-educate them. You know what I'm saying? Separate the lies from the truth. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we do that is as grown men and women, we have to build with each other so we can have understanding as to what the truth really is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, y'all taught me a lot up here. I've been through school. You know what I'm saying? I've been self-educating myself for a long time, and still I'm gaining knowledge by this to you, brother. So y'all salute. Keep the conversation going, bro. Hey, Born, you know I love you, my bro.
Respect, bro.
Yeah,
knowledge is infinite.
Yeah,
stay great, King. Stay great.
Yep. I always say we've in the last 45, 50 years, we've developed a culture where we created black men that are now afraid to speak out with their chest. You know, for years, like yesterday, I did a live stream titled "Casual Sex Has Destroyed the Black Community," right? And I explained how, like, what casual sex does economically to the black community, what it does mentally, physically. How it prepares, how it brings in STDs and unwanted children, and it's a total breakdown of a culture, right? And I always tell black men, listen, we can talk all day about women, what women do, but we got to study the playbook. If there's groups of other competing men that's controlling the monopoly board, and their objective is to keep us in the position that we're in. So the thing is, we got to know our history. Like when we had these conversations, you know what we doing? We casting out demons. A lot of our men are walking around possessed, man. They don't know who they are. They have the demonic possession, and you see our kids talking about, I'm on demon time. Well, what I do is we cast out demons. When you say you on demon times, I say black man kill a black man, you're a traitor to your people. When you say your AK spray all day, I say nerds over niggas. I always use words to go against their words that they say about themselves, because this is what they've done. We have to counteract the actions that these people are doing. We got to raise up a new consciousness in our men, because what I've noticed is a lot of women are out of control until black men get confidence in themselves and he know who he is. You start seeing, you ever notice when your money right, when your mind is right, your woman act right? She act right when you got your shit together. And see, we see that as a negative. I say, no, bro, listen, women are naturally created to submit, but she's going to submit to the person that she feels comfortable or can protect her. So in warfare, the white man manipulated that. That's why he said, let's destroy their men and let's keep them in 9 months of suppression under us. So he psychologically conditioned our women to be under them, because we can't offer them nothing in this so-called society that's built for them. But Dick, Dr. Nellie Fuller said a black man in a white man's society is a boy. He's not a man. So we have to understand that now, and we got to fight back against them. And the way we fight back, you know, the quickest remedy of fighting back against them is not guns, bombs, and bullets. It's actually us loving each other. It's doing what we doing now, because this ain't what they want us to do. That's why they killed Medgar Evers. That's why they killed so many black ministers in the South and in the North, and they killed the brother in Chicago in '68, because he was unifying the brothers. It's us loving each other. Us saying, you know what? We ain't fucking with y'all no more. We doing our own thing. That's what crumbles this thing. They want us to crip in blood. They don't want us having these type of conversations.
True. I wanted to add on to the answer to the brother G initial question, which was the standard. What is the standard amongst our people? And as I reiterate constantly over and over again, we have to become unapologetically 100% black. And that means everything that's not black is something else, and black is everything else. And we have to stop being boys and start being men. As we've all said throughout the day, men have to stand up and fight the system. The reason that Pierre and that other brother has a platform is because there's no one standing up speaking directly to them. See, they want Corey Holcomb to come on so they can have this big shing-ding where they try to clown Corey Holcomb and get the affectionate and the intimate support from those that already is sublime to the homosexual community. That ideology is part of the system or an element of war that's being used against the black male and the black man. We have to deal with ourselves as men and start fighting back. Just like we fighting in our communities, we have to fight online. We have to fight in the tabloids. We have to fight back, create a voice for ourselves. Because if black boys don't see a voice being given, they will stay sublime to the voice that's already given. And the voice that's predominant right now, all they see on television, the NFL network, ESPN, FS1, any sports outlet, you see commercials based on either interracial couples where a black man is placed in a submissive position, or you see him in a state of being a homosexual partner. And that's the direct faction element of war against our community. And it has been for 100 years from a political and a legal sense, which controls how we function from an act of social engineering. So like the brother said, we have to be proactive in what we're doing as men, but we got to enforce the nature of a man on our boys. And we have to defend them, because boys is attracted to power. That's the only reason they act with the gun. That's the only reason they pursue the bag. They are attracted to power like all men. And the only act of power we should be giving them right now is control and direction by an act of unity. And we're doing that right now on this platform. And I hope that we can spread that like a disease, make that go viral to other black men, because we got to stop allowing everybody else to have their platform. You got the pro-feminine, pro-woman platform, the Me Too platform, this bullshit, the Black Lives Matter bullshit, lesbian women with a Jewish man trying to speak on the blood of black men. We have no social platforms that are just unapologetically black man. And we need that. So black boys can start seeing black men and stop seeing cowardly tongued black males like they're being reared and influenced to be. They can scream and yell at each other, but they can't speak truth to power. And we got to show them by example.
But I say this, I'll say something. This might be a little controversial, right? It's a conversation I had with my brother too. And the way I'm viewing where the future is going, right? With this technology, this automation age, and them not promoting marriage no more amongst any races, because they have machines coming in. They don't need you to work in factories no more, right? Think about this, right? The way I'm teaching now, I altered my teaching a little bit. The way I'm teaching now, and it's still based off of the conversation we having, right? But this is the thing: this white man that we talk about now, his kingdom has fallen, right? The impact though on the black mind is, it's nothing stopping us right now from creating our own business and becoming millionaires. Like, as black men, we do whatever we want to do. But we're still based off of what P.W. Balter said in his letter. He said if you break them down in this way, it would take them at least another 200 to 300 years for them to psychologically break free from the mental chains, right? It's to me, white supremacy is falling, but there's nothing stopping us. The only thing that's stopping us today is us. That's the way I view it. Like, because guess what? A lot of us across the country are aware of the playbook and what he's done. But despite that, we still won't work together. We still don't love each other. Like, we got an 8th degree black belt talking about what the white man's done, but we still don't trust each other. So what happens is, when I read what Madison Grant said about the black man, he said the black man's ability to achieve depends on how much white blood he has in his system, right? This is what he said. H.S. Chamberlain said something similar, right? And so now when I fast forwarded to now, like, we literally can buy land. It's a lot of things that we can do, but the black man has been broken so much, he don't love his brother enough to believe. Right. He don't believe it, bro. All of us on here now, the black man don't believe that we can do this.
But we're not black men. We're not black men. That's the problem. We're under the guise of being black men. And that's the problem that we have, as you earlier said, as we said earlier in the conversation. No one has never seen black men as men. We've always been seen as boys, even unto our women, even unto our children. And that's been generationally throughout our sojourn in America. However, those of us that have knowledge of self know that we're not just black in skin tone. We're black by definition of mindset, character, and action. That's called culture. So we have to become, or we have to enforce, like they have done unto us, unapologetic blackness. And that starts with the black man being just the black man. If we unify ourselves, as I teach the children, do for self. And I wanted to say this earlier when you was asking for the standard. One thing that separated us when we were young, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, make all men and boys FOI. He didn't say make them join the Nation of Islam. He said make them FOI. FOI is a name given to the military training of men belonging to Islam in North America. That's the fruit of Islam. The fruit is the best part that you produce, that reproduces for the benefit of the roots. So we need to teach all boys first, be militant. That's why every little boy in my damn barbershop and in my program learn how to box. Because once you teach a boy masculine resolution, he know how to deal with conflict from a masculine standpoint, which is logical first, and understands who he is and how he is. Then they can now start understanding and wielding the power that they have and start being a compliant to our purpose and our mission. And that's our purpose, is to lead them by teaching them and then let them lead the war.
I agree with you, because my dad died this year, right, in February. And we had a conversation probably about 2 months before he passed away. And he was part of the first resurrection here in Philadelphia, Mines number 12. He was in the mix of all that stuff. And he told me, he said, son, let me tell you something. He said that Elijah Muhammad said 50 years ago, the day the white man start letting you sleep with his woman, his kingdom is done.
Fact.
And you see this now because they're promoting this biracial thing all over TV. What I want our people to understand is this.
And bro, I wanted to say one thing to your statement. Okay. He also said, when he said that would be his last resort, is when he sends his woman at you.
Yeah,
and you actual fact.
Yep, and that's what he said. And I want y'all to understand something. I want black men to understand something. Listen, man, white supremacy is dead. White supremacy only has power now of what you give it. I'm telling you guys. Listen, we got social media. They're not coming. Listen, there's things that do happen, but you guys now have to use your mind and your imagination to build the nation you want. America wasn't always here. The white man that created this system imagined it first, and then he manifested this reality for himself. We got the ability to do the same thing, because all he did was take our knowledge and our history and then use us to build it. It's nothing. I want y'all to listen to me, right? We could talk all day about this kind of stuff. There's nothing stopping us from creating the reality that we want. They condition us to believe that we can't do it. So now what happens is, the reason why you're still a boy and you don't love your brother, because you don't love yourself enough to say, I can achieve this, unless it's individual. But I want y'all to understand something. We can do anything we want to do today. And guess what? This how crazy this is, how psychologically crazy this is. The white man got guns, bombs, bullets, rockets, tear gas, mustard gas, everything. The black man had one thing that he was afraid of, and it was your penis. So, and the reason why I'm saying that, you change the trajectory of the world with your mind, your penis, just living. All you got to do is just your ability to live. He was afraid of. And that's what I'm telling you. You don't need to stay in the military, none of that. All black men got to do, please, if y'all don't listen to nothing I say on this live stream, when you see a black man today, speak to a black man. I don't care if he don't speak back. When you walk up amongst a group of brothers, you be the loudest in the room. How y'all brothers doing today? Look them in the eyes, shake hands. You got to start shaking up the monotony in the room. Shake up and start breaking up this culture that they created, where we don't look each other in the eye. We don't speak. Speak to a black man and do it every single day. We got to start changing the way we operate, the way we view each other, because this thing is psychological warfare, bro. It's nothing. White supremacy becomes a myth when you make him irrelevant in your mind, man.
That's why we got to make our boys militant, because militant is having a discipline within an order. And if we don't give them order and enforce it with a discipline, they won't change from the influence that they've been usurped and bombarded with. And that's our first action or mission is to do it by example. And that's why I said, make all men and boys militant in that fashion, not in the form of creating the active ranks, but creating the ranks within their mind so that they're unapologetically black. And then black boys will do the militant physicality once they have the mentality. We need that in our communities, because the first duty of a man physically is to provide and protect. Then he teach those coming behind him and that's with him how to provide and protect so that they can maintain and build what they have. Otherwise, another man will come and take it.
And you're right. I believe that our boys are already militant. The problem is they don't have a mission. They don't have the proper mission.
A guide.
Yeah,
they have to be. They have to be placed in the ranks. See, they're aggressive. They're emotional. They're physical, but they're not disciplined. They're not militant. That's why you can get. They're attracted to the Bloods and Crips, because that's a united order, a discipline. Boys love discipline. And when we give it to them, whether it's verbally or physically, they understand. If they don't have the interjection of an emotional escape, the boys have to submit the discipline, and that's how they become men. Because as I teach the boys, males are born and men are made. And if men don't make you a man, you're not a man. You're just under the illusion thereof. And reality bites.
And you know what's crazy? Like what you like, that was a good knowledge you just put. And that's what I've been teaching on my channel for years. And I've had people come in, oh, you sound like a male chauvinist. What about women? And I always teach. The reason why I don't speak on the women, because I learned this a long time ago. I learned this about 30 years ago. Just sitting at the mosque. And I remember the brother said, the imam said, you don't have to talk about protecting women. And everybody was looking like, why? He said, because if black men start loving each other, black women automatically become protected.
Facts.
Because those women, he said, most of those men that love each other are born to a mother. They have sisters. If you want for your brother what you want for yourself, then you ain't got to worry about that man putting his hands on your sister or trying to rape your mother. Because he can love you. He can love you the same way he loves his own self. He said
and other rapists do too.
Yeah.
The rapists do too. When he see them brothers loving each other,
yes,
he know don't touch that woman. Just like when you see an MGT out here in the street, you know you don't touch no MGT. Just like you see a nun, you know you don't touch a nun.
Yep, and he explained, and see, he explained that to us. He said, when you start loving your brother as you love yourself, your daughters, and that means that if I'm not around, but the brother's around, my daughter is there, she got other fathers around now. They ain't trying to sleep with my daughter. Because yes, we love the village. But when you stop black men and raising them up for their purpose and stop loving each other, what happens is the women become unprotected, the children become unprotected, and the society that we live in becomes destroyed. How can I marry a woman and place her into a community amongst brothers that don't love me? Everybody gonna try to fuck my wife. It's gonna be a destroyed society. So I'm saying all that to say, from the time a boy as it's the womb, if that boy is not raised up and protected and taught and guided, man, the community is in trouble, man.
Right. The first example is us, though, bro. That we got to set that example. When he come up, if he can see us, and I know by experience and success, bro. Once they see you, like so many children depend on us, bro. And I know for a fact, G, you got the same experience I got, because we work with children all the time. Children depend on us. Even when they become adult age and have children themselves, they still depend on our guidance and advice on how to deal with life and to be a man. And that's the most satisfying experience. Yet I'm striving, like we are, to make it the standard, the culture amongst our people. And we have to sometimes do it by force, because the white man don't have no hesitancy in making sure his laws are enforced amongst his community, bro. And we have to do it amongst ourselves first in order to be successful.
And you know what's funny? You can see how when the children with the women or the moms, and then how they operate when a man with masculine energy walks in the room, right?
Facts.
And how, especially with boys, with sons. Like my son, I wasn't home last week one day, and my son wanted to do something, but like Philly is off the chain right now, right? He wanted to go down to one of the rec centers to play ball, But his friends, you know, they moms let them do whatever they want to do. I don't let my son do whatever he want to do. He can't go around that stuff right now. It's too wild.
Right.
So I wasn't home, and he asked my wife, and my wife said, no, you know, your father ain't having. Man, he started acting crazy, being loud in the house, stomping his feet, acting crazy. So when I came home, he looked up. I know he did something, but he didn't say anything. He just kept playing the game, right? When I went upstairs, my wife was like, yeah, she was like giving it to me easy. Like, yeah, he wanted to go play, and I told him no, and he started saying it ain't fair, howling and screaming downstairs. So I was like, wait a minute, he did what? So I went downstairs. I went to talk to him, but I had to explain to him. I was just like, damn, like he would never do that with me, but he did that with my wife because he wanted to get his way. But I'm saying all that to say they respond differently. Children respond differently to us. But the caveat to this conversation is, watch this, bro. You know why a lot of our women are so angry and disgruntled and saying that they don't need us? Because the same way children expect certain things of us, so do they. Even when they say they don't need us, even when they the loudest black woman in the room that acts like she's so disgruntled with black men, she's only doing that because she wants us to get in position.
Bro, that's the experience of most fathers. And I wanted to add something to that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that when we lose our way, study the lion, and you'll return to your nature if you study him well. And if you notice the black man, similar to the lion is called the king of the beast. He's called the king of the beast because he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest or the smartest, but he's the high contender of all of those things placed in one. And he's the only creature that rules a family by his way of life. So a lion is the only creature that has a pride. Everybody else belongs to a pack or a herd. A lion has a pride. And in his pride, he has a queen of the pride, and he has other women in the pride. Then he has children. But the lion patrols a territory of 5 miles. If he don't have 5 miles of territory, he dies. He can't live without it. So the lion goes wherever he want to go, and the woman maintains the home. And then he comes back to the home, and when he comes back, any unruly male cubs automatically submit to the presence of the lion. However, the black man, when he's away, other than himself, living as a Negro and a nigger, it's the pride that maintains life for him, the black woman. And she controls and has the family. And her cubs, the black males that grow up unruly, they have to either encounter their father before they grow up, or they'll be killed by another lion. So we're dealing with that same cycle going on of dysfunction with us without the king present, to the point that we even allow the white people, 2 white women, to teach our children, our 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old boys, that the black man is other than himself and that the black woman is the king.
You know what's crazy? I broke that down like 2 years ago. And I broke it down between the lion and the tiger. True. And most of us operate like tigers because the white man was a tiger.
Yep.
The white man operates as an individual, not as a pack, not with his progeny, not with his group. He operates alone. He runs from, he sleeps with different women. He searches for his own food. He only cares about himself. He doesn't have a team. He doesn't ambush. Yeah, he's not a team. He's not a team player. So when the white man came, what he did was switch places with us. He created an illusion that he became the lion and we became the tigers now. That's why what we do. We became the tigers on our own communities, and that's not our nature. That's why we're operating the way, because we're operating out of our nature. We're lions by nature. It's our nature to be lions, but we're moving around like tigers. And that's why we're so destructive to our communities, because a lot of our women now is out of control because they're expecting us to be lions, but we're operating as tigers. So now our women are starting to operate like tigers. But that's part of the great dysfunction of the community and what they've done, because the pirates of the Caribbean, when they came and they came to these shores, they jumped off as tigers. And what they did was steal our culture, and then they became us, and now we operating like them.
That's actual fact. They got a lion that acts like a tiger, and they call him a rogue lion. And if you've seen the movie, everybody's seen the movie The Lion King, and that's when they indoctrinated themselves. They gave the dominant lion Scar, which the black mane is the dominant. That's the most testosterone, the older, the stronger lion. And they gave the weaker lion Simba the blonde mane, and they made Scar friends with the born natural enemy, the hyena, the white man. And under that guise, he was to undermine the rulership of the Lion King. Kill the cub, and we'll kill the king. And that's what they've been doing to us. They've been hitting our seeds in the head, sticking that needle in their brain at birth. Indeed. Like you said, we have to get our boys, bro, and make them men. The only way we can do it is by example, because they keep seeing another guy with these shiny things that all the ladies like. See? And that guy with the shiny things that all the lady likes, they're willing to compromise themselves to anything. That's why they're putting the homosexual community in financial power now, because that's the new attraction, the new shiny thing to get our black males into that activity. And you can't have a military of homosexuals and expect to have another generation afterwards when they're lovers of themselves.
And I'm gonna say this before I gotta jump off. I gotta go in this building. Yeah, young brothers out there, man, make sure, man, you guys, because listen, I know a state of our women is out of control too, but there's a lot of good sisters, right? Let me tell you, brothers, something, man. There's a lot of good sisters and worthy sisters out there. Man, listen, plant your seed in the fertile soil that's down for you, man. We got to start, listen, the same thing I tell sisters, listen, you say it's not a lot of good men out there, stop chasing Big Dick Daryl from up the block. Listen, get with the brother right there that's trying to talk to you every day, but he's not what you think is cool. But no, he's the best one for you. Brothers, get with those girls. Stop getting with Ratchet Riri and all that kind of stuff. We got to start putting our seeds in women that's down. And sisters, you got to start planting your seeds, not in brothers that's talk, but get with a brother that's willing. I want y'all to hear what I just said. Get with a brother that's willing. That's willing. We gotta start moving differently. When we had these conversations, once I see brothers and sisters had these what I do here in Philly, once I see that you are capable of having this conversation, then that means that you know. Now that means that I'm gonna hold you accountable. Because see, there's accountability now. Because those of us that's in the know, it's our responsibility to be a light in a dark room. It's our responsibility now to be the example for what we should be. We need to give that image. The same way they give you images of Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and Drake and all that kind of stuff. We got to be the image of functional families and show young black people that it's possible to do it. We got to be the ones first toting the line and standing on the front line saying, this is the example. So now young boys can see that and they can start emulating it. I was a father to my children because my father and one of my big homies, he had 8 kids, but he used to ride around in the hood in the van with all his kids. And I used to be like, damn. So when it was time for me to have my kids, it was second nature because I saw my big homie do it. We got to be the examples, man. They got to see it. They got to, not words, they got to see you doing it. Mm-hmm. So we got to be the example, bros. Peace.
Peace. That's actual fact, God. When we lead by example, we can only duplicate self. And that's the whole goal, is to duplicate self. If we do that, we get greater later.
Indeed, brothers. I appreciate y'all, brother, for coming on the platform. You know what time it is, bedtime.
You already know. Appreciate you, King.
You already know, God. I just wanted to share, man. We got to do for self and no one else, or we're going to die because that's the only thing left. You feel me? And until we do that, we got to be unapologetically black. And that's black man and black woman. And once our children see that, they will be that, because we're allowing someone else to lead our children away from us instead of to us. Indeed. So until that, let's do for self, man, and be black, man, every day, all day.
Peace to the nation of God's and earth. Salam alaikum, alhamdulillah, rahmat Allah, to all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. And to my BTP family, we ain't a blood or a crip. We doing our own thing. Btbtv has started its own gang. Like, nigga, what? Yo.
That way.
Peace.
Peace.